Every independent media outlet should be talking about this album. If we can do segments about the CEO of Bad Boy and that personal stuff, and we could talk about Jack Harlow, how could you not speak about Skyzoo?
Hey, yo, Ease.
Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man, Ease. Yo, Skyzoo got a new album out, man. Keep Me Company. As you all know, I'm a huge Skyzoo fan. And this album embodies a lot, quality lyrics, thought-provoking lyrics, top-notch mix, elite production that moves, doesn't stay in one spot. Show and tell on there on the horns. Skyzoo just doing what Skyzoo does. He gets a theme and he tells you a story. And I think everyone should take the opportunity to listen to this. And this is not a review, a comprehensive review, just my reaction to listening to it the whole weekend. Skyzoo is everything that we say that we want in hip-hop. Originality. You want dudes that have old school principles in the sense that they write their own rhymes. Creativity. Take the craft seriously. Uphold the values. But somehow we overlook that. I think every independent media, hip-hop media outlet should be talking about this album. Taking the time to dissect the lyrics and his aim and objective and sharing it with the masses. Like, Skyzoo is such a complex writer to where I wouldn't even attempt to act as if I have it all figured out in less than a week of listening. But just listening to the album, Keep Me Company, it feels as though when you keep someone company, it's a familiarity with them, right? Like, there's a connectedness. And when you speak to them, then you go down memory lane. And in this album, there's so many moments where he jogs your memory, either from things he's previously said, music you've heard in the past, or just dropping a song title. For instance, the opening track, Community Service, first verse you hear is Nas, a young Nas telling the story and how he made his mama proud. Then we go over to Finders Keepers. I think the opening line speaks about gentrification. He's had an album all about gentrification. He used a particular sample, I ain't gonna say what it is, but he takes the same sample for this song and flips it in a totally different, unique way. That's Skyzoo, man. Home Away From Home, Ultra C's. I made it like that. Some of us know that from Nas, Take It in Blood. Connectedness, drawing us back to places that we're familiar with, you know what I'm saying? Track number 4, Allende at the March. Opens up with some opening lines about one of his heroes, his Pops, talking about going to the 1995 Million Man March. And he wanted to go, and his Pops is like, nah, just in case something pop off, I need you home so that we can carry on tradition. Speaks about Allende Jean Baptiste, or John Baptiste, pardon me on the pronunciation, want to make sure I get that correct. The young man who gave a powerful speech, right? Everyone should have seen that by now. That was in 1995, that's almost 30 years ago. If we fast forward, a movie was done about the Million Man March. Get on the Bus, directed by who? Spike Lee, Brooklyn's own, who happens to be who? Skyzoo's hero. There's so many different connection points on this album, man, which is why I believe, and this is just a reaction, I'm going to get to all of that comprehensive stuff when I break down different instruments and all of that. Every independent media outlet should be talking about this album. If we can do segments about the CEO of Bad Boy and that personal stuff, and we could talk about Jack Harlow, how could you not speak about Skyzoo? He has one of the most elite discographies in hip-hop ever. And that's not a stretch. He takes his craft serious. You can never say he put out a whack album. Never. He's never put out a whack album. We should be championing what he's putting forth. Love to talk about a New York sound, which is an array of different sounds, but he possesses that. He embodies everything that you love about New York, or hip-hop, period. You want jazz? Got that, show and tell on horns. You want old school principles? Oh, he gonna rhyme over some break beats. You want chops? Oh, you want some sample flips? Oh, you want concepts? Are you want double entendres? Oh, I got that too. You want metaphors? Want me to tell a story? You want some introspective writing? He has all of that. And this project continues that legacy. Keep me company. Like, I've been playing this album non-stop. No skips. Go to esoteric. As soon as that track comes on, the first thing that comes to mind is a Spike Lee opener. There's so many different elements. Wins for the fathers. I remember I interviewed Skyzoo almost 2 years ago, and he spoke about how he wanted to get into entrepreneurship, like things outside of music, and be a restaurant owner. And he went on to do that. But being the writer that he is and being transparent and sharing his story with his people, on this particular song, he goes on to speak about how his restaurant started as a smash and fell through the cracks. And he lost $125,000, you know? But simply by believing in himself. Like, we need to hear stories like that. Because he's still persevering. He's still attempting to do things out here. He didn't let it stop him. He gave us this album. So I said all that to say this, man. Don't complain about hip-hop. Don't complain about the lack of this and that. Don't complain about what you want or what yesteryear used to feel like or what you want it to be like. If you're not actively supporting the individuals who's checking all the boxes that you claim you want. Keep Me Company and all his entire discography forces us to think. And I'm starting to think that in hip-hop nowadays, we don't want to think, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to me. And it's not rapidy rap. It's things you can relate to. All throughout this album, he's speaking on things or just dropping jewels. Record Store Day, which happens to be ironic because this album dropped on Record Store Day. All going that Sean Price crate. All going the Rockefeller crate. Like, just dropping little nuggets and crumbs to people who are listening who may not be familiar with certain artists, you know? Shout outs to Group Home on here. Smith & Wesson, The Shining. Many different moments, man. Connectedness. Memory Lane. Keep Me Company. Come sit down. Let's chop it up. We need to be championing this album, man. Because this is what hip-hop is all about. When dudes are out here putting that work in and they respect the culture, this ain't even nothing to debate about. Just press play. Shout out to Skyzoo, the whole FGR, the whole Brooklyn, New York City, and all the hip-hop heads, man. I challenge you all out there. Press play on this album. Keep Me Company. Can't forget the producers, man. Gotta shout every last one of you out on this project. All of you did a phenomenal job. A phenomenal job. Fire production. This has to be, and I can state this. I feel this way wholeheartedly. This is the most cohesive album I've heard all year. We ain't gonna talk album of the year right now. That's not the topic. But as far as cohesion goes, Keep Me Company. Yes, you did listen to the album. Tell me your favorite track, your favorite 3 tracks. I want to know your favorite 3 tracks on this album.
Hey, yo, E!